Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be prepping different stocks. So we're going to go over how to prep carbon fiber and fiberglass, how to prep a wood one, and how to prep a composite one. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the composite stock. And these always have different manufacturers. Some are better, some are worse. But they have this mold line that runs, basically, typically it'll go right over back here as well. And what we're going to do is just take a pretty new razor blade and we're just going to like back drag it over the seam. And then that'll just kind of smooth that out. If you kind of go where you cut it, you can risk cutting into the stock. So I always just like to back drag it, or same difference. And it just smooths that out so that when you do all your coatings on it, it will not have that. It's not like it's sharp, but you won't feel that edge. So we're just going to go ahead and go over, all of the areas on this one. And then what we'll do is media blast it. And then with this one, it's got this piece that comes off. What we'll do is blast it, prime it, paint it, and clear it with this piece off. It'll only go on there to dip it. That way the pattern lines up. So we'll go ahead and go over the rest of this. Okay, so this one will be ready for media blast. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at just the wood stock. I just have 220 grit sandpaper, and we're just gonna go over this one. So this particular stock doesn't have any checkering or anything, so we're just gonna sand it. You have to be really careful sandblasting or media blasting wood, because you can really get into it pretty quick. So we will usually just sand the wood ones. What we will do if it has like checkering is we'll turn our pressure way down and we'll media blast the checkering and then sand the rest of it. Let me actually see. Well, I'll look, and if I have one that has checkering, I'll blast that and I'll put it in somewhere in this clip. But I don't know if I have a wood one that has checkering. So with this one, we're just gonna basically just rough it up with the 220 grit. And then what I'll also do is sand just down in here, just so that when we go over that edge, it'll bond. And we'll do the same thing up here, just so that when we come over that edge, the pattern and all the primer and everything sticks. And then the thing you just have to be really careful of with these wood stocks is making sure that you seal up the end grain back here, anywhere where the butt plate would cover, is typically not as finished as the rest of the stock. So you don't really have to worry about it on the finished part of the stock, but on the end grain back here, you really have to watch it swelling and sucking in the water. Same kind of up in here. It's usually a little bit better up in here. The main area I've typically seen where people have problems is right back here. So you just want to make sure that you seal that up really good when you're priming it. So I'll get this kind of roughed up a little bit with the sandpaper. And we'll go ahead and move on to the carbon fiber and fiberglass stock. So before we get into that carbon fiber one, I did have a stock. So this is what it would look like. Just lightly blasted the checkering, and then that way now we can come and sand all of the flatter areas, and everything will be roughed up and ready for the primer. And then something else you might have to do on like wood stocks is fill little, this one had a little nick in it, and they asked me if I could kind of fix that. So we used a paintable wood filler and then sanded that smooth. So that's something you can always do. We didn't do like, there's some other little tiny dents in it, but that was actually like chipped out of the wood. So we went ahead and fixed that. But we'll go ahead and do, I think this one's a carbon fiber stock, but it's the same for fiberglass or carbon fiber. It's kind of like wood. You have to be really careful if you are going to blast it. We don't even really mess with blasting them, because if you get through that outer layer, then you just end up with like pinholes that show up into the like carbon fiber or fiberglass that they did that top layer over. So we just sand them. And then I don't know if you can see, but this one's kind of got a little bit of a texture. And we're going to sand that off too, mainly because we talked to the customer and this has got like nicks in it from being used. And to feather those and get those to not show up, we're going to lose texture. So we're going to go ahead and sand this one smooth, and then that way it's ready for primer, and then we might recreate the texture. We're just going to have to see kind of what works for what the customer is after. So for now, we're going to go ahead and get this one sanded, and yeah, we'll just kind of show you what that looks like here. So the texture comes off really good. And what I've found is basically once that texture's gone, you've sanded it plenty for primer to stick. So you can kind of see the finish underneath coming through. So you just have to be really careful, even sanding it. But media blasting on these kinds of stocks is just not something that we do, just because it can go wrong really fast and these stocks get very expensive. So we're just gonna maybe feather one of these areas out. And this is just same 220 grit sandpaper. So it's just going to be more of that. You can see where we've kind of smoothed that out so that once it's primed and dipped and everything, you won't see it. And then this is all sanded smooth. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. These ones just take a lot longer. So I'll go ahead and get this finished up and then show you what it looks like when we're done. So we got this all sanded smooth, and you can see the areas where we had to kind of blend in little nicks and stuff, especially around here. But so that's all good. The only other thing worth mentioning is this stock is bedded. So you want to make sure that you mask all of that up. So typically what we'll do is we'll come over this edge about a 1/16 of an inch, but anywhere that their bedding is, so starting right here, it is just going to come up to that surface. It won't wrap over the edge. We don't want to mess with any of the bedding, so we're going to leave all that alone. Anywhere that it's been, I mean, all the way, looks like clear back to here, it's been worked. So all of this is just going to be taped right up to this edge, and then up here will come over about a 1/16 of an inch when we tape it for the pattern to come in. So we will go ahead and I think finish this video here. If you guys want to see different types of videos, I know this one's a little bit different. It's, you know, it was all just sanding for the most part, but oh, you know what? Actually, I need to show you the synthetic one sandblasted. Give me just a minute. So this is the polymer one, all media blasted. We got the cheek piece as well. So if you guys want to see some other different videos, maybe more prep work, touch up, just different ideas that you have, we're open to suggestions. So put them in the comments. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It helps more people find the channel, and hopefully more people find some useful information for their company or their hobby or whatever their personal situation is. So I appreciate you guys watching, and thanks again.